Welcome to Crossbody of Work. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
This is going to be the quickest episode we've ever done because
Yeah.
College Football 25 is downloaded. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm the Florida Gators Tim Tebow jersey.
I'm the podcast.
Javier is the podcast merch. I believe that this game has changed the trajectory of my life. So I just don't think I will be doing much else. I feel bad for the other games that are downloaded because they're just going to get no attention.
I mean, I've been terrible about playing video games for the last year. So this is kind of my return to
Return
playing.
of the Mac.
Return to playing. I feel bad for my girlfriend and my cat. More so my cat. Because she's like, why are you here now all day? Just playing video games instead of paying
Listen,
attention
you
to
want
me.
Kennesaw State to win a natty or not?
And absolutely not. I know we discussed this before recording. I know I can't get UMass the death penalty, but I'm going to do my best to get somewhere near that. For those who don't know, that's my alma mater.
Yes.
I don't want them to I'm just my goal in life is to make sure that they win a national championship, and then they get absolutely SMU'd.
Yeah, I got early access. I have both. I have an offline dynasty, an online dynasty. The online dynasty is with some of my friends. We're all being SEC schools, so that way we're all in a good conference with other challenging computer teams.
They are all Canadian. I want to put
all
that
the Canadians are doing it, and then I'm Florida in that. For my offline dynasty, I am the University of North Texas, which is a university I have rebuilt in the old NCAA games.
So random.
And then my road to glory quarterback rocking the Temple University Owls.
Ooh.
Who play at Lincoln Financial Field, where we were for WrestleMania. And I'm like, hey, that's a nice stadium. I've been there twice.
I want to do the make your own player thing to make myself a wide receiver, but at the same time, I'm not getting Madden, so I'm not porting that dude over.
No, I never port. It's all about just running these wonderful careers and then going off to be, I don't know, a real estate agent or something. Anyways, we have an actual wrestler to talk about, and that is Blue Demon Jr. We're going to Lucha Libre today.
Hey, shout out to El Demonio Azul Jr.
Azul. It's a Mexican professional wrestler. He's the adopted son of the original Blue Demon, but not his real son, apparently.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I saw that too, and I just assumed. I mean, he is his kid, just adopted.
So he's his Emilio Estevez.
Yes, and much like other masked superstars in Mexican wrestling, his real name is unknown. We don't know. We don't know.
I don't like that. I don't know.
I love that because eventually if they lose take their mask off when they retire or lose their mask or whatever, and you're like, that's Jeff from down the street. Fucker took my lawnmower.
My favorite is I don't 100% know what Rey Mysterio's name is. I just know that his last name is Gutierrez.
Yeah,
but he's also Mexican, so he probably has 3 last names.
Oscar Gutierrez Rubio.
Why would you tell me his first name, man? I was keeping the mystique.
Too fucking bad. Blue Demon Jr., you and I thought was... did you think he was older or younger than he is? I thought he was younger.
I thought... Well, considering where he is in age, I thought he was slightly younger. I think he's 58. I would have guessed he was 51.
I also thought he would have started wrestling earlier because I feel like that's such a lucha tradition. He started wrestling at age 30 in 1996 in AAA.
There's still hope for me.
Yeah. He formed the team Los Juniors with La Parca Jr., who is now La Parca, Mascara Sagrada Jr., and Paraguayo Jr. That was kind of his first big group.
Rey Mysterio said, fuck these juniors.
I'm out. He was there until 2001, did some CMLL and some NWA. We're going to talk about the CMLL and NWA first. Also, Blue Demon Jr.'s listed size. What do you think this man is?
That's always tough because he's not going up against people whose sizes I know.
Exactly.
He was about Adam Pearce's height, I think. When spoiler alert, we cover a match against Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce is... I would guess he's around 5'11", 6
Adam Pearce
feet.
is listed 6'2". Listed 6'2".
That brother's got a suit on. He should be having his trunks on. I'll say he's 6'1".
Blue Demon Jr. is 5'9".
Someone's lying.
And 207 pounds.
Is he KDing himself?
I think he's KDing himself. Where he's like, no, I'm
Because
not that
there's
tall.
fucking no way.
No,
Maybe
he's
like
Kevin
in
Durant.
his elder years, he like he
Shrinking.
shrunk a tiny bit, but there's no way. He's like literally, if I had to guess, he's like an inch shorter than Adam Pearce is. So either Adam Pearce is lying, or the Blue Demon Jr. is pulling a Kevin Durant and saying that he's shorter than he actually is.
When I start shrinking, I am 100% getting a scooter. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be just like Wally. All right, our first match, December 7th, 2002. We are in CMLL, and we have a little Nepo baby battle. It's Blue Demon Jr. versus El Hijo del Santo.
That was just so uncalled for.
What, the Nepo baby?
No, the Wally thing.
Well, I mean, we're trending that way. I see a bunch of people with scooters, and I'm like, just add a couple, touch screens to that. Just Wally, baby.
All right, man. It's okay. I need your help here.
Sure.
Does he come out to the fucking? Is that James Bond or Mission Impossible?
It's the Mission Impossible theme, I think.
The dun 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 dun
yeah,
dun
yeah.
dun dun dun. But it's not like fully because I didn't hear the. I just heard the dun dun.
They've just got the bass line.
I was like, oh, this is interesting. Instant action. There's a drop kick and a suicide dive by Santo. He still has his like cape on, which is fun.
I did think that was fun.
He's like underdog over there, just freaking chilling.
Underdog. I loved Underdog.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Underdog is here. Couple things about this match. One, hella short.
Yeah, you would think that a CMLL match with two legacy talents like these would have more than a what was it? It was like 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's 6.5 minutes of actual in-ring action.
Oh yeah, I forgot the promos at the end.
Yeah, and the other thing is this starts the trend of how many masks do you think these masked wrestlers own? Because they always get ripped.
They have to have so many. I mean, the good thing with these two specifically is that theirs are just one color.
Yes.
Like it's probably super easy to order
to get other masks
because you just get the same mask like 50 times.
Yeah,
it's just a blue mask, or it's just a white mask.
Just run in Costco and be like, hey, can I get the 50 pack of the blue?
I'm assuming the Costco Mexico affiliates just have like they just have an entire section of just lucha masks.
Mexi Costco, I love that. Back in the ring, Blue Demon Jr. goes for an abdominal stretch and starts undoing the mask of Santo. And he's doing it respectfully, though.
You don't do that.
You don't do that. But instead of ripping at the mask, he's just untying it like one little knot at a time.
No, this is not a babyface move.
No, none of it's babyface move. I just think it's funny where he's like, "Hey, could you not rip my mask today?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I'll just undo it gently."
Yeah, I'll do it gently. It's like me trying to like I don't know how you treat your nicer shoes, but that's exactly.
I undo my yes. If it's not my daily shoes, like my daily whatever shoes, slip on, slip off. I do not care. But the nice shoes, they get actual untied.
Yeah, they get untied gently as well. I'm very nice to the laces. We get a plancha by Santo.
Yeah,
nice head scissor takedown.
Yep.
And then he is going for the mask as well, and I'm like, who is the baby face here?
Nobody. Drop kick by Blue Demon Jr. Suicide dive to the outside. He locks in a camel clutch. Santo flips him to the outside, hits another suicide dives. I was like, did the suicide dive just drop in Mexico in 2002? Because like they're spamming it so hard. There's like, hey, new move, just new meta.
New meta. That's gonna be. See, if I ever make a quarterback in NCAA, that's just my meta is just. I've always said this. I know 2 plays on offense. It's 4 verticals and curls. And we're just I don't care what the situation is. I based it off of vibes. It's like, I've done 2 straight verticals, and let me throw a curl in there.
I will say, having played NCAA, defense is hard. Defense is so fucking hard in this game. They don't want you to make tackles.
To play.
Defense is so hard in this game. You will be in perfect position.
I'm not playing
to make a tackle, and it just will not happen for you.
Listen, man. If you think that my stuff isn't going to be like a Big 12, Pac-12 type situation where the scores are going to end
63 to 56,
yeah, like you're out of your mind. There's no defense being played here, brother.
There's no defense in this place. There's also no contest in this match. Santo rips the mask off of Blue Demon Jr. and the match just ends.
Yeah, what is happening here?
It actually, what you don't know is that this was their version of a bra and panties match, and it was just like first one to get the mask off. You
Is
lose.
that why they were being so sensual about taking him off?
Really making a meal of
Santos,
it.
since I know you don't know Spanish, Hijo de Santo
Thank
goes,
you.
there's only one mask that matters in Mexico, and it's Santos. He basically challenges Blue Demon Jr. to a mask versus mask match. Blue Demon goes, This is what I'm talking about. Like, Santo can't beat me clean. He has to rip off my mask in order to get any sort of thing here." And then he just starts claiming victory. And then, honestly, they just kind of started bickering. So I was like, don't care about this.
They, from what I could tell on his mask versus mask, or like his wagers thing, did not have that match.
Oh, nice.
So that's sick. We love a plot line being dropped. What was in the lockbox, Shane?
Oh man,
What was in the lockbox?
there are a lot of things that have been dropped throughout the history of television as well. Not just wrestling.
It's true.
What is your favorite like dropped thing?
Ooh, favorite dropped storyline. A couple of different shows just get rid of a kid partway through, which I think is really
That's what I'm
interesting.
saying.
Like, the second that Ross has a kid with Rachel, like Ben's gone. Like Ben just does not exist anymore.
They couldn't afford the Sprouse twins anymore. That's why
Sprouses were getting that cash.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of other ones that just went fucking nowhere. God, they're all wrestling related in my head.
They are. My favorite is like there's always How I Met Your Mother had a couple where like there would be these like situations where a hookup would be in place, and then like for Ted or whatever, and I'm just gone. Like just never. Like my man was taking it so seriously that this was the one, and then you never hear about this woman ever again.
That's fair. Apparently, the MCU has a lot. The Too Many Sorcerers thing.
Yeah.
From the end of Doctor Strange, that was. Can we get any follow up on that? That would be rad.
The 3 eyes. It's like, are we coming back to that?
Yeah, that would be
at any point.
That'd be really cool.
Is Deadpool going to explain that one to me?
I would love if they just had Deadpool explain all the whole.
Well, Kang in general.
Kang's a problem. Also, looking at Blue Demon Jr.'s. I'm going to get you to pronounce this as the person who actually speaks Spanish. The like the wagers. No, the wagers thing where luchas de apuestas.
Apuestas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
That's not. There you go.
Gambling, wagering.
His first one for this was in 1989. So he clearly started wrestling earlier, just not in AAA or CMLL. He has one of the most scarce Wikipedias I've ever seen for someone who's been wrestling this long.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's famous. Like he's not like the most. I'm not gonna say he's the most famous guy ever. I mean, the guy, he's like.
Give me a
pretty
comp.
much. Honestly, he's kind of like Cody Rhodes before he became Cody Rhodes.
Before he went like to the next level, yeah.
Yeah, like Cody before AEW. Like you can include the earlier independents and stuff like that as well, as far as notoriety goes. But just like, a guy who people thought, oh, he's living off of his dad's legacy, but he's still like well known. You know what I mean? Like, you could say the same about like Goldust, people like that. Yeah. Just like these like
quality nepo babies.
Yeah, like like they're like they're very much nepotism hires and stuff like that, but also like you'll remember them for their own individual stuff.
Yeah, Jack Quaid, still good at stuff.
I know that I should know that Jack Quaid is Dennis Quaid's kid, but it isn't until this exact moment that I realized that.
Well,
it's like when I realized
Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid are his parents.
It's like Jesus Christ. It's like when I realized Colin Hanks was Tom Hanks' kid, and I was like, "You're telling me that I went through his whole thing with Dexter, all these little parts and shows and movies that he had throughout the years, and I didn't realize that he was Tom Hanks' kid until Chet came out of the woodworks."
The star of Orange County. All right. Our next match, all the way in 2008, and it is that match we mentioned earlier against Adam Pearce. It's for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in NWA Mexico, October 25th, 2008. Live from Mexico City, baby.
Adam Pearce is talking hella shit.
Oh, so is his manager, C. Edward Vanderpyle.
Just like we need that. We need to bring that back. We need more ridiculous manager names.
I agree. I would like to be one of
listen,
those.
I love Stokely Hathaway for that reason alone. Like, can you get me another person in modern day wrestling who is a manager who has a ridiculous name besides Stokely Hathaway?
Let me give you a little list of people that Vanderpyle managed through his career. Ready?
Okay.
Frankie Kazarian.
Ooh.
Obviously Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
Rocky Romero.
Okay.
Lil Guido, a.k.a. Nunzio.
Loves a workhorse, this guy.
Colt Cabana.
These are all lumping into like the same category.
Carl Anderson.
This is just adding even more.
Mikey Nichols.
I have no idea what that is.
Half of the Mighty Don't Kneel.
Okay.
He managed the Mighty Don't Kneel, essentially.
Yeah.
And
the other
Rob
Shane.
Conway.
We really ended that one off on a fart, but
dude, I
listen,
saved
it's
Rob
just
Conway
a lot
for
of
the end.
Workhorses, man. It's what it is.
I knew you'd love Rob Conway. All right, Adam Pearce is here. It is official. He has some of the most default CAW gear on I've ever seen in my life. The one shoulder full singlet, unless you are Andre the Giant sized, is inexcusable.
Well,
you look like the trash man.
No, like I think you can make it work if you're like Bronson Reed.
You have to be huge in some capacity.
You have to be a Haas. Okay? And like it's Haas exclusive.
It is Haas exclusive. Also, for those of you who have not joined us before for Haas Month is all of August. It's Haas Month 5 this year. Fucking all Haas's all August. Oh, including starting a 3-parter that's of a Haas. Oh, it's going to be so good.
They said, and they is me, Fast 5 is the best of the Fast and Furious movies. It objectively
Haas 5.
Haas 5.
Can't wait for Haas 5. So there's a lot of national anthems and pre-match stuff. Also, according to commentary, both Magic Johnson and Sugar Ray Leonard are here. We do not see them once, so I do not believe them.
Well, how do you know? You never saw them.
I don't, but how prove it in the positive as well. Show me them.
You can neither confirm nor deny these allegations.
Sure. That's like me saying like, hey, you can't see it, but Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry are here.
No, but here's the thing. It's just it's such
camera.
a weird shout that I'm like,
what a weird lie to make.
That.
Yeah. Apparently, it was like it's some sort of convention was in Mexico City at the time, so that's why.
Why would they lie about that?
What'd you think of seeing the Raw GM in action?
He's kind of a prick. Demon gets
on purpose.
Yes, on purpose, obviously. Demon gets wrist control early here, and he's really like putting a lot of holds on. He gets a side headlock on at one point, and then Pierce counters it with a Saito suplex, and then he just goes to town on Blue Demon Jr. Like he bites him on the in the head at one point there.
Yep.
He puts a camel clutch on, which is Santos's move. He really is just on top for a little bit here until Demon slaps on an STF, which is one of the better STFs I've ever seen.
I will say, Blue Demon Jr. only knows how to do things all of the way, it seems. Like all of his submissions get locked in, and then when we see him blade later, we will see just how extreme he is at doing things all of the way.
We will talk about that. It's really weird with him because when you think of luchadors, you have like a very specific style in your mind.
Yeah,
you're Lucha Libre style. You're going all this stuff. He's a very mat-based wrestler.
Yes, he is very technical, but that doesn't mean
he is
that
not. He's not really going and do like I'm trying to remember any of these matches off the top of my head. I don't know that he does a top rope move in any of them.
He does a middle rope drop kick once, I think, in the next match.
He comes. I know for one of them, he comes off the middle rope for a code breaker, but it's like
yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, but other than the suicide dive, which everybody does in Mexico, apparently
everyone does that. So
he doesn't really do anything else. You're right. Just a lot of focused on the arms. Pierce gets in control eventually. Also has a really funny moment where he says Damone Jr. is pulling his non-existent hair. I think that was actually pretty funny.
What do you mean? His hair? It's just along his mouth.
It is official. Pierce with the scoop slam, trading shots. Damone Jr. gets some kicks. Pierce tries diving off the middle rope. Damone Jr. gets them feet up, puts Pierce in the tree of woe, and does some running drop kicks. And I was like, okay, like I'm seeing some of the pieces come together. Like, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that Damone Jr. would be proficient in the actual art of wrestling. Like you're a legacy person. I'm sure this was drilled into you. You've been around wrestling your whole life. You're gonna be pretty good.
Yeah. Although I will say, as we learned from Matt Stryker at one point here, everyone's like, oh, he just was handed the Blue Demon legacy. He didn't really earn it. Like, we don't really know about this dude.
Yeah.
So, it seems that as far as the Mexican crowds go, he is a nepo baby that was handed the nepotism and never really earned it. Like, some people earn it. Like I mentioned Cody Rhodes earlier. Cody Rhodes has absolutely earned his place in the history of wrestling. Same thing with Goldust, Charlotte Flair, all these people who are, these very obvious second generation wrestlers. Like, we didn't really, I guess Roman Reigns eventually kind of was outed as a nepo baby. Like, people knew he was Sika's kid, but it was never talked about until he became the tribal chief.
So who are the worst second generation wrestlers? David Flair?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's not great. That's tough because there's a lot of people who are like, you don't like, they suck, but you also didn't realize that they were nepo babies.
Sean Stasiak?
Sean Stasiak was ass, man.
Garrett Bischoff?
I don't even know who that is.
Eric's kid.
Well, yes, obviously, but I didn't know Eric's kid was in wrestling.
Horace Hogan, in Aces and Eights, I think.
I know it's not his kid, but Horace Hogan is
Horace Hogan. Anybody in the Hogan atmosphere, I think.
Listen, if you're related to someone and got a push for it, that's nepotism. Like, you don't have to be their kid.
That's true.
There's a few, man. But yeah, no. I guess nowadays it's not as like super prevalent.
No.
Just because I feel like all the little like nepotism people nowadays are really good. Like, you've got,
like Dominic's
just look at NXT.
good.
Yeah, Dom's great. Brooks
Braun
Jensen,
Breakers,
is pretty good. Braun Breakers awesome. I like Charlie Dempsey a lot.
I actually had someone at work talking about how much they loved wrestling as a kid. So we were talking about how I like wrestling and everything because I got some wrestling stuff on my desk. And he's like, oh, my favorite wrestler was William Regal. And I was like, 1, impeccable taste. 2, his kid wrestles now and he rules. And he was like, oh my God. And so he may get back into wrestling just because of Charlie Dempsey. That's my
crazy
hope.
thing to get back into wrestling.
Hey man, if William Regal is your favorite wrestler, I see the pieces. I see the pieces.
It's also insane how he looks nothing like his dad, really. Like, I do not see it.
No, I see it a little bit it's really the nose area. Like, that's
the build obviously is Regal, but like his face he does not look like William Regal. Even young Regal. Like, I've seen young Regal from his days where he was wrestling that catch wrestling over there in the UK before he really traveled anywhere.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like that at all.
Pierce starts to get some offense here. Back to the match. Big DDT, unwrapping his tape, and he's choking Damone Jr. with it. Locks in a figure 4. Vanderpile's pulling the rope away so Damone Jr. can't get it. Pierce talking to the ref. Damone Jr. with an elbow and a bulldog. Hits a stunner.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
Solid stunner, too.
Solid stunner. Locks in a Fujiwara armbar and then a single leg crab. The single leg crab, Pierce is making his way to the ropes, has his hand under the ropes. And then his arm drops 3 times, and that means he's out. So it means that Damone Jr. has won.
Yeah, he wins the title.
He wins the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and is the first Mexican wrestler, as well as the first masked luchador, to win that belt.
It's great. I love that for him.
How long do you think he would hold the belt?
My guess would be like 10 months.
Okay. He would hold the belt for 505 days. Almost
like a year
but a year and a half. And then we drop it back to Adam Pearce in a triple threat.
That's
also involving
insane. What
also involving Phil Shatter. Phil Shatter, better known now as Jackson Riker, everyone's favorite person.
Shatter? I barely know her.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we get back, we go to the temple of Lucha Underground. Back from the break, August 2014, Blue Demon Jr. was announced as one of 5 AAA wrestlers, because at this point he's back in AAA, to star in the El Rey Network's new TV series Lucha Underground. He would actually wrestle in the first ever match of Lucha Underground. He would win. Do you remember who he faced?
Jack Evans.
I really thought that you were about to nail this, because Jack, I thought you were going to say Chavo Guerrero, because it was Chavo Guerrero Jr.
God damn it.
Blue Demon Jr. would have a match at Lucha Underground Ultima Lucha. It's April 19th, 2015, a no DQ match against Tejano. Now, I was so excited for this. I have seen Ultima Lucha. I had forgotten all the different pieces of it. I really forgot. Aside from everything, except for like the Pentagon Vampiro stuff, like I'd forgotten most of it. Now, I was so excited. I'm like, wow, they're the second last match on the card. That's got to be a nice long match. This match is 3 minutes long.
Yeah, this is all angle.
This is all angle, baby.
It's all an angle.
Kurt, Eric, all angle.
Do you know what I found out this morning that like shook me to my core? Did you know that Kurt Angle's nephew-in-law is John Bernthal?
I did know that.
Had no fucking clue. I guess they had an interview, like podcasty type of thing with each other. And it says that Kurt Angle is speaking to his nephew-in-law, John Bernthal, about his past addiction issues. And I was like, what the fuck you mean, nephew-in-law?
Yeah.
Is John Bernthal a Neko baby?
That's a good question if he's a Neko baby. Introduce the angle and tell the people about the crew.
So, okay. That's a whole lot of a lot of things that you just told me to do. All right, so Tejano is the youngest AAA Mega Champion. That is their top title ever at the time. I don't know if Hijo de Vikingo has since beaten that, but at the time he was the youngest champion ever. He reigned for a super long time. I don't know if he's the champion at this point, but I know he had the belt for a long time. And he's going up against Blue Demon Jr. It's kind of like a legacy thing, I guess. You could say the young guard versus the old guard. The crew is so their old leader was Ezekiel Jackson, who's known as Big Rick in Lucha Underground. I actually liked him in Lucha Underground. The crew was the people with him. They were like Cisco. I forget the other guys' names. Like one of them's like Cortez or whatever. Castro.
It's Mr. Cisco and Cortez Castro.
Yeah, they're like 2 smaller wrestlers who were just a part of Big Rick's crew. Cisco very much looks like a one of those stereotypical Mexican gangsters you'll find in LA with the bandana and all that stuff. And Cortez Castro is just like a normal guy. So they're flanking Blue Demon Jr. I don't know why. I don't remember why, but they're with him. And yeah, that explanation of the angle is longer than the match.
True, because this match is short.
So
the announcer gets an envelope from Blue Demon Jr. and it says that Dario Cueto has granted the match to be no DQ at his request. Nice. And that means that the crew just interferes immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Tejano does a senton, or hits a clothesline, I believe, and then a senton for a near fall. He does a suplex and a jumping elbow drop for a near fall. And then they say this is when Matt Striker's like, people around Mexico always say that Blue Demon Jr. was handed a legacy, that he never earned it. And they're basically trying to explain why he's a heel.
Yeah.
Tejano with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Love that. Not a great spine buster on the follow-up.
No. The sit-up powerbomb, though, pretty good. Again,
nice.
Hard to have a bad sit-out powerbomb.
It's very true.
It's one of the, we should make the rules that we've learned from doing all these matches.
Shirt with that.
No, there's no such thing as a bad sit-up powerbomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
The crew break up the pin, and they stomp out Tejano.
But here comes Chavo Guerrero Jr., who was injured and was supposed to have this match against Tejano.
I mean, he legit tore his hamstring. That was real. So yeah, the crew are holding Tejano, like they're restraining him. And Demon has a kendo stick, and he's gearing up to hit Tejano with it. Chavo comes down with a chair. He's teasing helping Tejano at this point, who he has a major feud with, and he also, he lost to Blue Demon Jr. and they had a little feud at the beginning of Lucha Underground for the season. So it would make sense that he would do all this. Then he passes the chair to Blue Demon, and he creams Tejano with it. Then Chavo hits Tejano.
Yeah.
And then he gives the chair over to Blue Demon. He creams Tejano with it, puts his foot right on his chest. 1, 2, 3. Blue Demon Jr. wins. The Guerreros and Blue Demon have aligned. Two of the most historically great families in Mexican wrestling have aligned in Lucha Underground.
And from what I remember, not much comes of this.
No, this wasn't a great. They really only focused on 4 stories at the top.
Yeah, everybody else had weird motivations though, and I dig that everyone else is like, I'm a weird guy, and it's like, all right, Marty, whatever you want to do. So like I mentioned, he's also back in AAA as well. There was a whole feud in 2018 involving Blue Demon Jr. and Ray Wagner, who is also known as Dr. Wagner Jr. During his match against Jeff Jarrett, with that Wagner won, Blue Demon Jr. betrayed him, even though Wagner would still win. In December of 2018, Blue Demon Jr. continued to cement his role as Wagner's rival, and on February 10th, there was a match that was a street fight. And after that match, which again Dr. Wagner Jr. won, Blue Demon Jr. asked him to have a mask versus hair match, which would take place at Triple Mania 27, August 3rd, 2019. And that is where we are. They are the main event because most of these mask versus hair matches tend to be in the main event slot.
This is one of the more wild matches you will ever see. It's not long. This is not a long match. This is like a 10-minute match.
What's the best way to describe the thing about this match?
Carnage.
In terms of pure volume of blood in a two-person match, this is close to taking the cake. Like, it's not Eddie, but it's
damn close to it.
It's really close.
Also, it's bad, man.
Before we dive into this match fully, I did pull up John Barenthal. He's not a nepo baby in terms of the world of he had a famous actor dad or anything like that. But
I meant more so that was more a joke at him being Kurt Angle's nephew-in-law, and that's why he got his big break in Hollywood.
Well, I mean, his paternal grandfather was a musician and producer, and then his mom or his dad is a former lawyer and the chair of the board of directors for the Humane Society of the United States.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, and then his cousin was rock musician Adam Schlesinger, who was a founding member of Fountains of Wayne.
Fountains of Wayne is the one that sings Stacy's mom, right?
Yes.
Okay. What an interesting life that John Bernthal has. I think he was just Shane in The Walking Dead, and then eventually became one of the more famous actors in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's doing good stuff. I like John Bernthal. All right, let's talk about the blood. The blood. If you were a luchador, would you want to be masked ever?
I feel like it would be uncomfortable. It depends on the mask. I
agree.
It really does. I wouldn't want a Pentagon Junior La Parka type of mask because you have to paint your face for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
do not want to do that every time.
If you could pick someone's mask type, what kind of mask would you take?
Ooh, I like Conan's old mask was solid.
Okay,
the full wraparound where you kind of just put it on. You don't have to lace it up.
Yeah,
I think a lace up would suck.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think I'd ever go with a mask for the simple fact that, man, it probably gets hot as fuck in there.
That's true. So
you got hair. I don't want to go bald for a mask.
That's fair. It'd just be all squished in there. It'd be a lot.
Yeah. It's real hot, uncomfortable.
AAA also has the 6-sided ring.
Love it.
I love it. It's cool.
Bring it back, TNA. Demon immediately hits this motherfucker with a chair. Immediately, within 10 seconds.
It's not a chair.
That's not a chair? I thought it was a plastic chair.
No, the first thing he hits him with is a sheet pan, like a cookie sheet.
On my life, it was a plastic chair.
No, he's got a sheet pan in his hand.
They fight into the crowd. Well, this is within 30 seconds. And then they come back within a minute. And again, when I say these times, I mean of the match starting. And then a trash can shot. We're a minute in.
He rips the mask eye. The eye of the mask of Wagner Jr. Then
he's bleeding. You see the blood spot because his mask is just a white fucking shirt material mask, and he just has it right there.
We get a bottle shot by Blue Demon Jr. That
Takes
is
a fucking bottle on his head.
That is replayed 6 times.
As it should be.
I love AAA's presentation. They will immediately show 7 angles of the same fucking thing. It's so funny.
It is incredible production work, though, I have to say.
They're like, we have seen this from the bird's eye view. Here it is from Blue Demon Jr.'s point of view. Here it is from the ref's point of view. Here it is from the side. Here it is from under the ring.
Here it is from the bottle's point of view.
Here it is reenacted with Lego. Like they're on one.
Here it is with AI.
Here it is Wagner, as a courtroom drawing.
Wagner takes his mask off because he's not tied to the mask. Traditionally, he has lost his mask many years ago. He is just eating punches. He's bleeding. It's not great. Blue Demon, I called him Blue Demon the Third because it's Blue Demon Jr.'s son. So he holds Dr. Wagner Jr. while his dad just unloads punches on the guy.
Okay, because did they say that on commentary?
They said it was Blue Demon Jr.'s kid.
Okay. Commentary's in Spanish in this match, right?
I have no idea.
I believe it was because I had no context for that. So that makes a lot of sense that that's who that was.
His kid.
Okay.
You also see him in the next match, don't you? Yeah.
You sure do.
So. Yes, so that is Blue Demon Jr.'s son. Which would explain a lot probably for you. Yeah, so Wagner gets on top again. He starts ripping at the mask. There is a tray shot for a near fall. And good God, Evan, Blue Demon Jr. has turned into the Red Demon.
He is bleeding
or purple,
profusely.
I guess, if we're combining colors.
I have a very fun story for you about combining colors. So, I was an RA in university, and one of the things during training is they took us to like an overnight camp. And it was really fun. It's like meant to like, we all hang out and do socializing, whatever.
It's like Wet Hot American Summer.
Not quite. And we went to, it was actually a Christian camp. This is just a camp that was nearby. We weren't like go at a Christian university or anything, but the nice people who worked there were like, so we've put all of the boys in one in like one tight set of cabins and one of the girls in the other. And you should think of it like colors. The boy cabins are blue and the girl cabins are red. Don't make purple. And my gay best friend looks at me and goes, what about like a really dark blue? And we had just really met, and I was like, that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Because they're just like, we're gonna ignore the existence of gay people at this camp.
I know exactly who this is too, and this sounds exactly like something you would say.
We had met like 3 days before, and I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever heard. So, oh my God, one of the best.
Shut up, man.
Yes. So red. It is bad. There's a point where he does
he's leaking. He's literally leaking blood.
Where he gets rolled up, and as he kicks out, he turns over, and you see like Free Willy jumping out of the water. Like it's just this rainbow of blood come off of his head as he turns. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Oh my God. It's like when the Blue Man Group puts paint on their drums.
Yes.
And starts hitting it. Except instead of paint, it's Blue Demon Jr.'s blood.
It's people.
It's this man's a literal like thing that keeps him alive.
Hey, I think this match wasn't brutal enough. How about Blue Demon Jr. goes out and gets a hammer?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Hits Wagner in the spine with a hammer.
The fucking hammer. And then he hits him in the arm with the hammer when he like holds himself up in the corner. And then he's on the floor. And this man's like, you know what's worse than your back and your arm? Let me grab your hand. Let me isolate this one finger. Boom, right in the fucking finger.
Pete Dunne somewhere salivating. But also, all I wrote was tool time.
All right, Bob the Builder, calm down.
No, it's Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement. Yeah, so brings cheap hands and runs people face first into it. Armbar by Demon Jr., who is just so bloody. He doesn't tap, does a roll up, almost catches Blue Demon Jr. Literally like a 2.99 count on that roll up by Wagner Jr. Then we get a Falcon Arrow. I was like, I didn't think we were at a point where we were still doing moves in this match. I thought we were just trying to kill each other.
You guys were dying.
Yeah.
We had one of the greatest holds I've ever seen in my life. which is
Sure.
like a modified sharpshooter bow and arrow
Yes.
kind of thing. It's literally like he does the sharpshooter position, and then he only turns them sideways, and he puts them in like it looks like a line tamer. Like he's got the knee to the back,
Mm-hmm.
which is, if you look at it, he's got a bow and arrow on, but he's also got a sharpshooter on. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this information, but I want it to be my new submission finisher.
One of Damone Jr.'s supporters, maybe his son, gets in the ring to attack the ref to break up the count.
It's his son, yes.
The masked men, they get in the ring. Wagner stomps out the Damone Jr. ones because he also has like his posse who have his mask on.
Yeah.
And so
maybe it's Dr. Wagner the Third. Who knows?
Maybe it's Nurse Wagner. Who knows? This match ends with a chunk of concrete.
Yeah, it's just a cinder block straight to the dome, fam.
But it's not even an actual made cinder block. It's just a chunk of concrete that once was part of like a post.
Probably.
And they just found it outside, and he was like, I got an idea for this. Yeah, Damone Jr.
It's definitely just like plaster, right? Because
it
like went into fumes immediately.
It explodes like one of those exploding golf balls you can prank people with. It blows up.
I'm sorry?
Have you not seen those?
No.
Oh my god! It's a similar prank in as the birthday candles that can't blow out, where it's like it's just fun to do. But you can replace somebody's golf ball with one that explodes upon impact, so they line up for their drive and just swing, and it just goes everywhere. It's pretty fun. It's pretty good.
That, but at Topgolf. Oh.
After the concrete shot, Damone Jr. gets the pinfall, and this would be Wagner's retirement. He cuts his hair and retires. He's appeared in a couple matches since, but really has kind of stuck to that retirement, from what I can tell.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take one last break. When we get back, we have one of the most confusing tag team matches I've ever watched. Back from the break, Triple Mania 31, so 2023. It's April 16th. We have a tag team match, which is Blue Demon Jr. and DMT Azul versus Rush and LA Park. Now, this is part of a larger tournament. The tournament itself is very confusing. It is called Guerra de Rivalidades. I don't know how to speak Spanish. It's some sort of like tournament of rivals. The way the tournament works is if you win the match, you're out of the tournament. The losers advance in the tournament and are relegated to the next round. The team that lost in the tournament final is intended to compete in like a hair versus hair, mask versus mask match on the final night of Triple Mania. So, you're with a partner that you may not like, right? And then if you lose all your tag matches, you have to face each other in a hair versus hair, mask versus hair type match in the end of Triple Mania. This one was even weirder because the finals of the tag portion ended in a draw, so it turned into a fatal four-way. I'm not going to spoil it so that we can get through the match, but we'll talk about what happens in the future. But this match, it means that Blue Demon Jr. and his partner DMT Azul do not like each other. And it means that Rush and his partner, LA Park, do not like each other.
That makes sense.
That is evident through the whole match.
Yeah, I mean, Rush immediately goes for Blue Demon Jr. and just starts ripping at his masks, hits him with a chair. Like that is just insane, just on the outside. Because Rush, I love him. He's so good. Like I really wish AEW do more with the guy because he is such a brutal wrestler.
Yeah.
Like it must suck facing Rush in a match. It really must.
Rush also great look. Like really good put together wrestler, like really good.
Yeah.
DMT Azul, when he comes out, he's got like fucking road flares in his arms.
Oh, he looks great. I've never seen that dude before. He looks amazing.
I immediately was sold. And then, I mean, LA Park is
fucking
LA Park's my guy.
Boy.
There is no more of a my guy than fucking LA Park.
We
put him in the My Guy Hall of Fame.
La Parka episode just because you love him so much.
I love La Parka so much, man. What a gimmick. What a guy. The chairman of the board.
It's your bizzo.
Who give me somebody who's in your Guy Hall of Fame. Doesn't have to be a wrestler. It can be any athlete.
I mean, it's Rene Dupree.
No, go to another sport. Who's somebody who's like isn't good, but like that's your guy,
Oh, Alonzo G.
What a fucking pull. I love that. Alonzo G.
Alonzo G was my dude in freaking 2K association modes when me and my
Love that.
cousin would just do like random drafts.
That's how I felt about Landry Fields.
Big Landry Fields guy. I love with everything that I have Luis Scola for that
Oh,
reason.
yes.
Same reason like that.
I got a baseball one for you.
Oh,
Former Blue Jays second baseman and Diamondback second baseman Orlando Hudson.
my guy.
O-Dog.
I feel that way about JJ Putz.
Oh,
Shout
man.
out to former Seattle and Arizona closer JJ Putz, my fucking guy.
Former Blue Jays closer as well, Billy Koch. Was never that good, but just threw heat.
It's a name, Jesus
Billy
Christ.
Koch. There's no more. The most true statement I've ever heard is that guys can just sit around and name old athletes, and that can how they can spend.
I literally did that yesterday. We were naming fucking random college athlete. Like the guy goes, named the best 4 players for the Maryland team that won the national championship in 2002. And I was just there like fucking Jared Jeffries, baby. Steve Blake. Let's fucking go. And we were just throwing out around random names. He goes, J.J. Abrams. I'm like, that's the director of Star Wars. You mean A.J. Abrams? That was the guard from Texas.
Oh my God, DJ Augustine, baby. Yeah. So this match, it turns into essentially it has to be Roosh versus Damone Jr. and Park versus DMT Azul. And when the people in charge, so Roosh is on top and DMT Azul are on top. They're not opponents, but for the first half of the match, they don't even look at each other.
Yeah, and makes sense. Let's put it like that. Demon Jr. is bleeding and bald, and honestly, I can't think of a worse B&B combo. Can't do it.
Oh, you heard of Bad and Bougie.
Bleeding and bald, man. You've heard of Airbnb or Bed and Breakfast. You've heard of Bad and Bougie. The worst one of the bunch is definitely bleeding and bald.
Bald and bleeding. Yeah. That's a hit,
My
baby.
bitch is bald and bleeding. Actually, maybe not. Maybe let's switch up the first word of that.
Yeah, maybe not that.
Blue Demon is bald and bleeding.
The suicide dives by Park and Damone Jr. because at first, like, there's nothing going on until Azul and Roosh actually start fighting each other. They are just tearing masks off. Blue Damone Jr.'s mask is partly off. LA Park's mask is ripped in half.
Yeah.
It's wrapped around like the middle of his. He looks like Darth Vader when they take the helmet off for the first time. Like it's just around the side of his mouth.
What a fucking pull.
It's true.
Yes, it is. That is exactly what it looks like.
Then things
like
actually
fucking juggernaut. Like
then things actually get intense once Azul and Roosh start fighting each other. They trade jumping knees. We then get those suicide dives by Park and Damone Jr. Damone Jr. then hits Roosh with a non-folding chair. It's just a school desk chair.
Sure, man. Just boom right in the face. At one point we are just all over here. There's a bunch of like leveraged DDTs, like there's DDT spot between Demon and Park where they just trade him for a bit there. We get the middle rope leaping code breaker that I talked about earlier for near fall. At one point DMT catches Park and just does this like swinging sit out slam that I don't really know how to describe.
I put it as a spin out side slam, and it's really good.
It's nice. DMT does a cannonball to Roosh for near fall. We get a super kick suicide dive to LA Park.
But also the suicide dive is through the bottom rope.
Yes, which was nice. Nice little added touch. I like that. Then we kind of get the where this match sort of breaks up. No, because we get so at one point DMT is holding Roosh so that the Blue Demon can hit a suicide dive to him. Roosh moves out of the way, and so Demon hits the suicide dive on DMT. And then it breaks down. Roosh's dad shows up.
That's who that is. Okay.
Yeah, he starts beating everyone's ass, and then LA Park Jr. shows up to even the odds, and I'm like, okay, Nepo babies galore here. Because Blue Demon, I'm pretty sure Blue Demon Jr. the third comes out as well.
BD3.
At one point, Park hits he turns on Roosh. He hits a low blow to him, puts Blue Demon Jr., who's out cold at this point, on top of him.
Yeah.
So Blue Demon Jr. and DMT win the match. And then after the match, DMT Azul goes crazy and just attacks everyone. He rips off Blue Demon Jr.'s mask. He beats up both Parks, L.A. Park and
Yeah.
Junior.
Joseph Park, doesn't matter. Park
Yes,
Place, he's coming for y'all.
he coming for everybody. Parks and
Yeah.
Recs, better wash your asses.
I'll fucking find you, Andy. Yeah. So this was a weird one. A couple of things I noted about Blue Demon Jr.'s career, because he's still active. This man is 19-0 in hair versus mask or mask versus mask matches.
The thing is, there is a level you get to as a legacy mask holder,
Yeah.
where you just kind of can't lose it.
Yeah.
Like the lineage, you just cannot lose it until you pass the mask off. Like
To
I
someone
don't know
else.
if Blue Demon the Third is a wrestler or not, but until he's able to pass it off, which I think he has said he's going to retire within the next year or so.
His son
So
is training for a career in professional wrestling.
I do think. Do you know how old his son is? Is that
I
a thing?
I do not.
Well, I saw when I was trying to find a promo for Blue Demon Jr., which I couldn't find. It's just podcast interviews and like TV interviews for the guy. At one point, I saw something that he says he's going to retire within the next 2 years, and that was as of like November of last year or something like that.
Okay.
Um, so by the end of 2025, Blue Demon Jr. will no longer be an active wrestler. So I think by that point he passes the mask off to his kid, and that's probably when we see him unmasked. So
Anyways, of the ones he's unmasked, there's only one person or two people who have their own Wikipedia pages: Grand Sheik and Dr. Wagner Jr. A lot of cool names. A
yeah,
very common theme among the people he has taken the masks from, though. He has taken the masks of Black Panther, Black Killer, Black Demon, Black Fuhrer. He's got a theme. So he's definitely got something against Black, which is alarming, concerning.
it's concerning. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's a little concerning. I have another fun fact though about Blue Demon Jr. 2021, it was announced that Blue Demon Jr. would star in a new TV series for Disney Channel.
Oh,
titled Ultraviolet and Blue Demon. The series would have focused on Ultraviolet, played by Scarlett Estevez, who discovers that her uncle is Blue Demon Jr. and teams up with him to become superheroes, not wrestlers, superheroes. However, later that year, it was announced that the series would be retitled Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion, with J.R. Villarreal replacing Blue Demon as an original character.
that sucks.
And
My man got pulled.
It's a real show that happened.
My man got pulled. Black Scorpion, isn't that Mil Martes?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
I think
that makes sense.
No idea.
No idea. But the show went for one season. It lasted 16 episodes.
I respect it.
That's all we got. What'd you think diving into the career of Blue Demon Jr.?
Solid, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the matches we saw, but I don't really see where a lot of the popularity comes, aside from the fact that he's the continuation of the Blue Demon legacy, which is obviously one of the most reviled ones. I would say
it's worth a lot.
It comes with a lot of cachet with the Mexican fans, because Blue Demon, the original, it's one of the most, like, the greatest luchadors of all time. Like, it's him, it's Santo, it's all these guys. So to go and pass that legacy on was tough. I'm assuming it was pretty difficult for Blue Demon Jr. as far as, like, sort of trying to make it his own, but at the same time, dude's just not, like, he's solid. He's a solid worker, but he's not like that guy, and I feel
You're
like
not that guy.
I feel like it's really tough to have that legacy and not be that guy.
It is. I think a good worker, I didn't really, maybe it's because it's hard to find a lot of stuff that really sells the personality, right? Like, not being as well versed in CMLL, not a lot of charisma there, AAA. Man. I'm just not. I don't get it as much as probably I should. I definitely can see some of the skill. I definitely can see the talent. I just nothing grabbed me except for the fact that he leaked blood, which was crazy. If you had to pick a match for people to watch this week, which one would it be?
That one. Are you serious? It's the Dr. Wagner Jr. match. He freaking leaked blood everywhere, and it was just a car crash for 10 minutes.
It was a car crash. Next week, we'll be doing some more car crashes, but of a different variety. Next week, before we dive into August, which of course is Haas month, Haas 5, it is going to be all big beefy boys next week to kind of have a little palate cleanser before that. Spike Dudley. We look at the little runt that could the smallest member of the Dudley family. We look at Spike Dudley next week.
The littlest lad in Dudleyville.
Just the weeest lad in all of Dudleyville. You should, if you like the podcast, you should rate 5 stars. You should hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. You should subscribe wherever you're listening to on podcasts. You should rate 5 stars, hit the like button, all that good stuff. You should follow us on social media. Javier, tell them where they can follow you.
I'm on the Twitter machine at JMello Sports. Lob the boy follow.
You can follow me as well. The Twitter machine handle is its7gomes, ITSEVANGOMES. Follow the podcast, most importantly, on Twitter and Instagram at Crossbody of Work. Subscribe as we're on the road to 400 subscribers on YouTube, and as we continue to grow on Instagram. You can also cop the merch. I'm wearing my Tim Tebow jersey, but Javier's got the sweater on. Crossbody of Work merch. The link is in the show notes.
It's as the fact well that you have a Tim Tebow jersey. That is such. Did you get it in college?
No, I got this when we came to when you came to my bachelor party. It was picked up by the other guys from my wedding party.
I remember that now.
Yes, so I rocked this Tebow jersey all weekend. It was a rocking time.
So funny.
It made it really easy for me to pick Florida. I'm like, I have fucking Florida gear on my person, so I guess I'm picking Florida. All right, definitely hit us up on social media. We are going to be busy doing college football rebuilds, but of course, it's still lots of stuff coming to YouTube. We're doing a lot of John Cena related content on the YouTube right now. We just threw up our 3-parter series on John Cena on our YouTube. You can check it out there. We're going to be doing some other John Cena related things, including drafting his best matches and moments. And I have a tier list for Javier that I'm going to tell him about right now. We're going to be tier ranking John Cena's best rivals. So check that out on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Damn. Carlito straight to the S tier. All right. It's time for everyone's favorite part of the podcast, the thing people look forward to the most. Javier, any final words for the people?
This week on Life Advice with Javier, do not, and I repeat, do not drink way too much at your partner's company summer outing, even though her bosses, and a bunch of people there that you are friends with are also doing that. You know why? Because then when your cat wakes you up at 5 a.m. and you feel like shit, and you're stumbling to go to the bathroom, and then you wake up and it's 10, and you're like, everything sucks. Whoops. And I hate it. Yeah, don't do that. Also, when you record a podcast and you sound like you're congested and you're calling it a flu game, when really my sinuses are as clear as it gets.
Flu game because he's going through it.
I'm going through it. Don't do this. Don't be like me. I'm gonna go play college football and eat greasy foods, and I recommend that you guys do the first half of that. Because the game's fun as hell. The
game good. Is fun. The game is hard. Given us
everything that we needed. And
I'm ordering nachos tonight.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you. And if you've got friends that are willing to squat up, Online Dynasty is the move. It really is.
Online Dynasty is about to be a movie. We'll be back with Spike Dudley next week as the prelude to Haas month. We will talk to you then.
Later.